Okay. So the first thing that happens when I open up, and I'd like to talk about it because I like people to be able to share with people so that they can do it for themselves. So when I opened the way that I just did and said, okay, I want to connect, I want to feel, is there a message for the group here or anyone individually? I just open up with whatever they have in mind. So I feel my gatekeeper, which is my mom, and I can feel her love, and it feels really beautiful, and it calms everything in my being. I can feel my whole body relax. I can feel my heart open, and I can feel like everything is okay. Better than okay. Like you just know that everything is amazing. And then what would happen next is then someone would walk into my field, or I would be given information that they want you all to have, us as well, me. Um, so I began to see things and feel things. And the first thing I felt was just the knowing that those of us, they're very committed to us on this journey. And they're very committed to making sure that we have a smooth transition as we collapse these distorted timelines, because they're collapsing into the greater potential timeline. And the reason for this is because we are beginning to heal our hearts, and our hearts are opening again, which is the most important thing, is that we clear all of these walls that were built up on our hearts from trauma, and we allow our hearts to be free again and flow, because it's really like the stargate into the higher dimension. So we're clearing it so that we can get a clear channel. Robert, I'm going to tell you, you have so many energies around you. That was the first thing I was made aware of. And there was also a little being. I don't know if it was, I saw it literally run across. I don't know if it was it's a young person that is passed away, but it's a small um and it came really quick. Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you have a connection to a small being? Either a child that's passed, which it didn't feel that necessarily. It felt like a
Uh,
little being.
um, I haven't had any young family members or friends pass away. No, I maybe
Keep
something else small, but I'm not familiar.
keep in mind the his story and the short grays and his
Oh,
mom and the hybrid program
They
that she
okay.
watched
was
me
in.
as a child when she was gone. The Men in Black said these little beings are watching you. I mean, that could be it. I don't know.
It's a little being. It's what I felt. And I don't know your story. I know nothing about it, which is always good for me to not know. So there's a connection there with these look like little ET beings. That's what it looked like. It ran across, and it was a funny little thing. Um, I did not feel anything necessarily bad. I'm going to tell you, it wasn't like it was something scary or bad. It was just simply is, and it has something to do with your um it's a spirit and soul thing for you as well. So it's not something necessarily happening to you as much as you are a part of this experience. You're a part of this whole thing. It's, it's not just, you're not a victim of something.
Yeah.
You're a part of. Okay, so that was the message. Um,
And to just one little tiny thing, I don't know. I thought you were I was tapping in. I thought you were gonna say something to connect with my native. I've been to petroglyphs and my people in stone, we have these little things with little antennas that we call great spirits and these little big old buggy eye beings in the petroglyphs. And I've been to a site where I was the fourth person. The tribe has kept it secret and I had a lot of ancestors, and we call them great spirits, and they're just some people call them ant people, whatever. We just call them great spirits. I don't know what they are, but thank you.
okay, I don't necessarily feel with your talking that that's where they're going with this. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
they're going with more of these beings around you that they're little ET looking things.
Mm,
That it was like they run around and they're busybodies. They're busy. They do a lot of things. They're doing a lot of things. I don't know what they're doing. But they're around you. They've been around you, a part of you, and it's a soul thing for you. It's a spirit thing. So I don't understand all that, but I think you do, or you will. But that was the message for you.
Thank you.
Mhm. Mandy, um, you're such a sweetheart. They just the energy when I feel them, like I get to feel all the love they have for you, and you're such a sweetheart. Um, you're working so hard, they say, in order to help people and bring about this change and bring about this awareness. And they just want to remind you that they're working just as hard and you can give some of that over. And sometimes they are watching you take so much on yourself and feel a little frazzled and a little bit too busy or too overwhelmed. And they just want to remind you to stay in your peaceful place and not put too much on yourself, and that they're there to assist you in whatever way to make it easier, and everything's going to flow beautifully. So just relax into it. Relax more. um, you're so precious to them. So they're very grateful, and it's important what you're doing, and they're supporting that. They get that. They're doing it right along with you.
Yeah,
And they love
it's
your courage.
heavy on my shoulders a lot. So
You what?
that it gets heavy on my shoulders a lot, and I feel like I should be doing more. I have so much more to do, and I do. I have, 50 events on the heroin epidemic I have to finish, right? And I'm like, oh gosh, it's a lot.
One step at a time, one foot in front of the next. And okay, just be in a state of peace, play your music or be joyful, have fun with it. Because the more you just roll through it with fun, the more they're able to interact and assist. So they're just saying, just kind of dance your way through it. That's what they just said. Dance your way through.
I love it.
Be yeah. They're sending you so much love. Okay. Mhm. I'm so terrible with names. You're gonna have to tell me your name again. I'm so sorry, but that is linear thing I cannot get through my brain.
Susanna.
Susanna. All right. Susanna, do you have a daughter?
No, I have a son too.
You have two sons?
Mm-hmm.
Let me see what they're bringing up. So another thing that's important to understand is that when I see people over there or when they show me things, the roles that we assign to people are not always the roles that they played literally here. So sometimes, like for instance, a mother is a grandmother because she raised you. So I'm always careful about roles, but I see a little girl. She could be somebody that you're close to, somebody that is on the other side. Is there a little girl that you have a connection to?
At this moment, no.
Give me 1 second. Let me see if I'm seeing you. All right. I'm not going to try hard for this because that is always difficult for me. They just we're going to let it go, but all I'm going to leave with you is there's a little girl. She's very significant. If it is you, which I'm not going to attempt to do anything with it yet, and I'm sure you and I will talk again and we may unwind some of this, but this little girl is significant. The first thing I felt was she was like a daughter to you and you were like a mother. So if she's not in your life yet, she may be, or you may find, you may remember who she is or get a connection to her. So I'm going to leave that with you for now, just so that we can not put anything on that that's trying too hard, because I don't do that. Give me 1 second. Okay. The next thing I get is a woman in my field, and she's grandmother energy for you. Very, very connected to you, very close to you, and one of your main guides or gatekeepers for sure. Are you in contact with her already?
Since I was little.
Okay. Did she help raise you? Were you with her a lot?
Nope. Well, let's say, yes, she was my grandmother, and yes, we go and visit her. And she died when I was young. Just when I felt I had that connection with her physically, she passed.
Okay. So
And
I'm gonna
she has protected me. When she
I was
left,
gonna
she protected-
clarify that what she's saying is that she helped raise you
yeah,
from the other side. So she's just saying, the way that we translate this stuff is not always here, but she's clarifying that she did help raise you. She transitioned and she helped raise you. She was like, became very much like your mother in spirit. So
yeah.
she's claiming that, and she's just feels that role, and she feels that very strongly. For her, the two of you have been very, very close. There's been no separation at all. And she's a sweetheart. So she definitely feels like your gatekeeper, and the main person that works with you protects you. And yeah, like you said, so she's confirming that for me. She's funny too, by the way. She's got a lightheartedness about her. She, once she attunes more in my field, I get to pick up and feel more her personality. She's a sweetheart.
And she was a damn good cook. And I think that's why I'm a good cook too. It's coming through her.
You ever smell the food when she's around? That's usually a lot. They can do that scent.
Yeah, but I have, she was really funny because I don't have to measure things, especially with salt. And my mother would always tell my grandmothers, like, Mom, what do you mean? She says, a pinch, a pinch, a pinch. And it was, and my grandmother would be cooking. She says, that's missing salt. And my mother's like, how can you smell salt? You can't. When you're cooking, you have to taste it. She says, no. And it's exactly that what happens to me. I can tell, even if it's boiling water or salt for pasta, I can tell that it's not having enough salt.
That's awesome. Okay, so she just clarified for me that what she was trying to tell me about your daughter, me thinking you had a daughter, she said she was telling me, and this is so good, you guys, because first of all, I'm just starting and I'm not fully in the field. Like when I get going, I tell people the more I'm in the field, the better it gets. Like the more I am fully in the field. But like in the beginning, I'm like, okay, I'm a little bit glitchy. And she was showing me you, and she was trying to tell me you are her daughter. That's what she kept saying. I was the mama. I played the mom role on the other side for her. She became your spirit mom. And so she was showing me you and saying daughter, and I was thinking she was talking about you. And so there's how I get a little twisted, but I always understand it in the end. And another thing is it's so important for us to just stay in that flow with them and not try to always be right or know everything. Like it just takes a little bit of time. It's not as clear as you and I talking. And it's okay to just be like, okay, hold on. Okay. Okay. And then that's lighthearted and it's funny. And sometimes it's really funny how backwards I can get stuff. But I end up getting it all. And I tell people all the time, don't worry, I'll get it. Take me a minute, but I will get it. And we will take as long as we need. And we take this journey. And I sit sometimes for 4 hours with you, and we get so much. It's just amazing.
So what an incredible journey. I really, really appreciate and joining us today. Robert, Amanda, anything else you'd like to say? Perfect. Well, Jenny, what a treat. Thank you so much. All of you for being here. Amanda, again, for scheduling this, and Robert for joining us. And I hope we can do this again. It's really it's been a trip, something new for me at least. So thank you for introducing me to this new path.
My pleasure. Thank you guys so much for everything you're doing. Very much.
I loved it. Thank you so much for bringing me on.
You're
Appreciate
very
it.
welcome.